And a very good early morning to you, YouTube. It is coming up on 4:30 a.m. and I'm going to do some fun stuff today. Today I'm going to smoke a pork butt. I'll show you what I've been doing here. Okay, so here is my pork shoulder. I have it boneless, so it's removed. But what I did last night is I set it in a brine solution, that's salt water basically, but I have molasses added to this too. So the molasses and the pork, they go really well together, and I like the flavor a lot. Now what happens is when you put your pork in here, it will tend to float. So what I did is I just made up a little weight of a water bag just to hold down the pork and keep it submerged in the brine. And if you do this, I would suggest doing it for at least 8 hours and get some good flavor into the meat. Otherwise, 12 hours would be best. Okay, there's the rub that I'm going to put on my pork. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I've got in here. It's a pretty standard rub though. It's got sugar, brown sugar, salt, spices, onion powder, paprika, garlic, stuff like that. But one of the things that I like to put in mine that a lot of people don't is just a little bit of cinnamon. I like the way it tastes in there. I think it's fabulous. But now we're going to get this rubbed onto the pork and get it on the grill. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start dumping this on. And you really want good strong coverage on here. Don't be prissy with it, okay? Really rub it in, pat it down. Now this is where they took out the bone, but it's still a surface. I want to get some of this on there too. Now for the fat cap, I don't want to waste too much seasoning on here because it's not going to penetrate anyway. So I'm going to pretty much just leave that alone. I'm just going to primarily worry about where the meat is. And I'm going to use all of this. I'm not going to waste any of it. All that extra that fell off, I'll use that to season the fat cap. Now, gotta wash my hands. Okay, I hope you guys can see my setup here. This is a pretty standard barrel style grill. I've taken out 2 of the grates, and I'm gonna have my fire down here because I got my air ports on this side, so that way I can adjust my airflows right next to the fire. And I also have a chimney stack on this side, so I want the smoke to be able to flow over my meat before it exits out the stack. So I'm going to put my meat here, my fire's here. Now what I'm going to do to help keep my grill a little cleaner is I got an old pie pan. I'm just going to set that underneath my meat, that way it will catch any drippings and stuff and I don't have any grease and stuff getting down into my grill. Now, in order to start my fire, I use an all-natural lump charcoal, no lighter fluids or anything like that that's been added to them. So what I do is I take a little bit of newspaper and I spritz it with just a little bit of oil. And believe me, that looks like a lot, but it's really not. It's just like 3 lines and it soaks into the paper really well and it stays lit for a good long time until that charcoal gets going good. There we go, that ought to work. And then on top of that, goes my charcoal. And then on top of my charcoal, I'm going to put this little cast iron skillet. And this is the only thing I use it for. I don't cook in it. It's just to hold wood chips. Now, I usually use a different variety of chip. This is Hickory.
And then I also usually use a cherry or an Applewood or something like that. But I'm actually out of it, so I'm pretty much stuck with just hickory. I've got a little bit of mesquite. I might use it, I might not. I may end up just going out and buying a small bag of apple. But for now, I'm going to get started with this hickory chips. But what I'll do is I actually put this pan on top of my fire because I don't want these things to actually burn up. I don't want them to catch fire and burn. I just want them to smolder. So putting them in the pan keeps them off of the direct heat, but yet there's enough heat that's generated to actually get this stuff to smolder in the pan, and you get a much fresher taste of the smoke. And this will just take a little while to get that lump coal going. It's actually a cold day out today. It's now getting to be close to about 6 o'clock. I spent a lot of time just talking to my wife before she left for work this morning. But the temperature outside today, it's just above freezing. It's like right around 34, 33 degrees, right around there. My father-in-law does a lot of grilling, and all the smoke and stuff that he cooks with, you know, he's a natural wood cooker. He doesn't use any charcoal. He doesn't use lump coal. He just uses the wood that he can get from his yard and from other people and stuff like that. You know, trees that they cut down and whatnot. But come spring, summer, and fall, he's out there just about every night grilling, and he starts smelling like smoke, and we call that his summer cologne. I'll also put my pan there. Okay, looks like that's going pretty good now. I've got actually 2 temperature probes here. And this one here is specifically, I use it just to monitor the air temperature in the grill. I never rely on the thermometer that comes on the grill. It's always inaccurate. So I got a nice little digital. I'm going to put it down through the air port, and I'm going to have it sitting just above the meat in my grill. So I'm going to shut the lid real quick. Open my vent. Drop that down in there a little. Do a little bit of wrap. Now this is magnetized, so it will sit right there. Now I don't want my temperature to get hotter than, well, I don't want it to get colder than like 210, maybe down to 200, but I want to keep it around 210. I'll let it go as high as 225, and then I'll start adjusting the temperature down. Whew, look at all that smoke. I don't even have chips in there yet. That's what you get with natural lump charcoal. Oh, love that smell. The amount of air that your fire gets depends on how hot it's going to get. Now my grill, my openings over here are completely wide open. This is 3/4 of the way open. So it's really getting a lot of air. And the fire is really going pretty good in there. If I open this up right now, I still got a little bit of flame down here. The coals are going good. Pan's getting a little warm. I'm not going to be able to hold this by hand much longer. But I got some good coals going there. I'm actually going to add a couple of handfuls of wood chips right into the pan. Like I said, I don't want them into the direct heat. Okay, you just want these things to smolder, you know, to smolder. And I put a lot in there because I don't want to keep coming in here and having to put more chips in. So there you go. Okay, so now time for the meat. This is my fat cap, goes up, away from the heat. Make sure it's over my drip pan. And then I got another probe here. Gotta figure out what I did with it. You know what? I think I left it inside. I'm gonna just close this for now. And I gotta go find my other probe. Alright, so here's my other probe. This is actually just for the meat. And being that was just out of the refrigerator, I'm getting a reading of 48 degrees. Now, of course, when I open the lid, put the chips in, put the meat in and all that stuff, I lost a lot of heat, so now it's got to get the temperature back up again. But as you can tell, I got a lot of good smoke already. But, there's the temperature for today. Right now it's 33 degrees according to the Weather Channel. So like I said, it is a cold day out here. I can smell that hickory in there just steeping away. Oh, it smells so good already. Okay, I hit my 210. Yep, I think I got it dialed in pretty good. I think I'm just going to go inside and warm up for a little while and just let this cook. Told you it was cold out here. I had to get my hat. Had to get a hot cup of coffee. Town's starting to wake up. Hearing more traffic flow now. Sky's getting brighter. Got the smell of a grill. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you might notice you don't see as much smoke now. And when you hit this temperature, the smoke will go down. At first, you know, it's really hot and it's really basically burning up. But once you hit that temperature and you maintain that 210, 215 area, the smoke will decrease, but you can still smell it. It's very floral. It's almost perfumey in a way. That's what you're looking for. If you get billows of smoke still pouring out, something's wrong. Something's not right. Figure it out, adjust it, because if you're putting that much combustion in it, then your wood's getting too hot, and you're actually putting almost like an acidic taste to your smoke, and you don't want that. You want to keep it light, keep it floral. And when you look at that, my meat's gone up by 4 degrees in only a half an hour. I tell you, it's getting cold. I had to go get my gloves. Just saw a motorcycle go by. Now, I was in the house last time. I looked at the thermometer, and it said 32 degrees, so it actually has gone down a little bit by a degree. So that's got to be one cold rider right now. I mean, I'm a biker. I like to ride, but I ain't got the gear for it. You know, to ride in freezing temperatures, you got to have a heated suit or something, because otherwise you're going to freeze your ass off. Ran out of coffee. Damn it. Well, since I'm going to be out here for a while, pull out my phone. I can watch some Netflix, maybe some YouTube. That was a good one. The fire's getting to be a little bit too low. It's below 205. I'm going to add some charcoal to it. Pick up the pot carefully using a pot holder. Throw in a few extra pieces. My wood chips are still looking good. I'm going to go inside, warm up a little bit. The grill temperature seems to be just about right. I'm happy with where it's at. Sun's starting to really peek out now. It's getting above the cloud line. Gonna be a nice sunny day. Hopefully it'll start warming up now that the sun's up. I have a hard time believing that it'd be time to put some more charcoal in, but maybe it is. Yep, definitely time for more charcoal already. Okay, my wood chips are doing pretty good though. You know, I might just go to the store and get some Applewood chips. So, like I said, I like to combine my chips. I don't like all one particular type of wood chip. And I really don't want to smoke the whole thing in hickory. I mean, hickory's fine and it tastes great and everything, but if you smoke primarily with just hickory, it's kind of flat. There's no true character to the hickory. So yeah, I think I might run to the store real quick just to grab some Applewood or I don't know, cherry wood or something like that. So, being that the grill's fine, I think I can take off for 30 minutes and do that. So, I know you'll keep an eye on it for me. So, I'll be back in a little bit. How's my temperature doing? Oh, look at that. You made it drop way too low. We'll open up the vents here and we'll get some airflow and we'll get that temperature right back up again. Jeez, I just can't trust you for nothing, can I? You can see what I'm going to be doing here. See, I just got some Applewood chips. Oh. Yep, looks like my chips are running low here, so I'm going to throw some more in there. While I'm at it, I'm going to throw in a little more charcoal too. There we go. Quite possible that that's all the chips I'm going to need for the rest of the day. Alright, let's throw in a few more briquettes. Okay, there we go. Close that back up. Of course, now I gotta reopen all my vents just to get the airflow going again. Okay, so let's recap what we've done so far. Got a nice Boston butt pork shoulder, brought it home, made a brine. A brine is basically salt water, but you add flavorings to it. I like molasses on my pork, so my brine is simply a half gallon of water, 12 ounces of salt, and 8 ounces of molasses. You can use more molasses if you want. You can add other flavorings in there. You can put in apple juice or peach juice, cranberries, you know, anything you want to put into it. Slice up onions and put it in there. I don't care what you put in there. But let that brine sit for at least 8 hours. 12 would be ideal. We got the grill ready, got the charcoal on, got the grill pretty much up to temperature, added the chips, put the meat on the grate, and started smoking. Gotta monitor the vents, make sure that the heat stays where you need it. You're looking at a temperature around the 210 degree mark. You don't want it really over 220. You really don't want it under 200. Use a variety of chips. Don't use just one type of chip because you'll end up with a bland smoke flavor. Add some character to it. Mix it up a little bit. Have fun with it. I almost forgot the rub. That's important. Make sure you get good contact with your rub. Really push it into the meat. That's why they call it a rub. You don't just sprinkle it on, you rub it in a little bit. Leave the fat cap on. When you put it on your grill, that fat cap should be on the top. And that's pretty much it. I was having a hard time maintaining a lower temperature. It shot up to like 230 degrees, you know, just like that. But what had happened is a good wind has actually picked up. It started to blow through even the small little cracks and stuff of the grill and feeding the fire and making it hotter than I wanted to. As you see down there below, I have another pie pan that I keep down there. And when stuff like that happens, I'm able to pull out the extra coals and bring my temperature down. Even though all my vents are closed, you know, I still can't maintain that low temperature, so I may have to pull coals out, and that's what that extra pie pan is for. Oh yeah, and in case you're wondering what I was using to pull the coals out of the grill with, tongs. Definitely not reaching in there with my bare hands. That'd be stupid. Let's take a peek, shall we? Oh, yeah, that's looking good. Four hours in, all's good. All's very, very good. Okay, it's well past noon. I think it's actually coming up on 12:30, 1 o'clock, something like that. Grill's going great. The meat's looking wonderful. The whole air around my house and down the street just smells like that perfumey wood smell, and it's just awesome. It's getting to be 3 o'clock. So I've only got about another 3 more hours of smoking. I think I added the last of my wood chips that I'm going to need. I don't think I'll have to add any more chips. I'll have to still come out and add charcoal every once in a while, but other than that, things are doing great, and the meat's looking fabulous, and the smell out here is just phenomenal. Okay, we're down to just a couple more hours to go. Oh, you look at that. Yes, indeed. After it's done cooking, I'm going to take it in the house. I'm just going to let it sit for about an hour. Okay, one, to help cool it off, because if you start pulling on it right away, it's just going to burn your fingers. But it's also to help save some of the juices that are in there so it's not dry. You don't want to pull it apart and have all those juices running out of the meat. So once I get it off the grill, take it inside, just going to let it rest for a while, and then I'll start pulling into it. Okay, this is it. Well, what's left. I brought it in. I wrapped it up in foil. I let it sit. I didn't get it to sit for a full hour. We were so hungry and it smelled so good. So I let it sit for only half an hour. And then I tore into it, shredded it up, made sandwiches off of it. And this is basically what's left from me and 2 other kids eating. Oh, it was so good. It just smells fabulous. Here, but I want to show you this. Okay, you see that? That's the smoke, that pink area. And then it goes into the white of the meat. That's what you're looking for when you're smoking a barbecue. If If you can't see a smoke ring in there and get that smoke to penetrate into the meat, there's something wrong. Oh, I gotta get this wrapped up. It's not gonna last more than probably a day or so in my house. We'll just keep using it for sandwiches, throw it in omelets, make casserole out of it. We'll do a lot of different stuff. Oh yeah. I don't know. I might just sit here and finish the rest of it. Now you can, if you want, put barbecue sauce on this. I don't know why you'd ever have to do that. It's got so much flavor and so much moisture to it. You don't need anything else. Screw it. I'm going to sit down and watch TV and finish this whole pan. Bye.